Hi, my name is Luisa,
And my name is Andrew.
and we have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what makes a teacher a good teacher or a bad one? The answer has to do with this. Didactics is a social science that has as its object of knowledge the act of teaching. Its mission is to describe, explain, substantiate, and propose standards to solve the problems that teachers face in the classroom. It has a real social commitment. It supports the design, implementation, and evaluation of training programs, and accompanies the students in their learning. And it answers key questions like what are the aims of education, what to teach, when, how. It relies on pedagogical models to make innovative decisions according to each context. There are many reasons why this science is so important. Andrew, would you like to explain this a little more?
Of course I will. So maybe you're thinking why you should care about teaching methods. It is because not all kinds of influence are completely correct or ethical, and not all teaching methods are equally effective. And because curriculums are not perfect and they require constant review. And because learning is not limited by innate abilities. And so on. It allows for the conscious organization of teaching and also helps some teachers to reflect about their own practice. Now, how can we view teaching from different angles? Lucy has something to say about it.
Yeah, that's true. There isn't just one way to view teaching. There are three main perspectives. The first is technological. It applies scientific knowledge to the teaching process, relies on systematic planning, and aims the teachers and students to find the most efficient path using. The second is the artistic approach. It uses the metaphor of art to understand teaching. The teacher is like a painter or like a poet. It's not about transmit facts, but it's about transmit feelings and creativity. And the third is the cultural inquiry approach. It understands teaching as a space for ongoing reflection, built through collaboration. Here, the teacher's inquisitive attitude is the key to intellectual and development of students. In other matters, we have different kinds of didactics. Andrew, what do you have to say about this?
Correct. We have two kinds of didactics. We have general didactics, which studies teaching methods but without taking into account age or level or things like that. And on the other hand, we have specific didactics, which studies specific knowledge areas and taking account things like your age or your level. And you might be asking how are they related? And it is with equality and cooperation because they need each other. Hey, nice, but according to this, what will be the role of a teacher and the relationship with didactics? And that's a good question, and it has to do with something that nobody mentioned, what teachers believe about teaching. This is something important because obviously it affects everything that happens in classroom. Teacher theories have been studied by many authors, and what they found is key. Teachers' beliefs has an enormous influence on teaching. But what are these beliefs? Well, simply, there are conceptions that teachers have about what is teaching, about how students learn, what is the function of the teachers, and what is the function of the school. Most of them have its origin in the childhood, when we were students, and they have remained throughout our teacher formation. The problem with this is that they emerge when the teachers have their own class for the first time. That's why, according to James Rath, that the most deep beliefs are also the most difficult to change. And there's something more because probably most of the teachers who has applied this kind of knowledge have applied it without having any roots or without having formulated it properly. So this is why some kind of authors call this kind of knowledge like tacit knowledge. Yeah, but what concepts of didactics do teachers use during their practice? First, ordinary didactics. They are based on unscientific beliefs. It is full of myths about the role of the students and about the role of the teachers. And they rely on cultural norms rather than sound reasoning. But let's see what Luisa has to say about this.
The second is to the scholarly teaching methods. This approach to attempt academic, but it lacks a solid foundation. It adopts trendy ideas, repeats them superficially, and easily shifts its position. The problem is that it lacks historical and theoretical roots. And third, scholarly didactics. This is indeed a theory of pedagogical action with solid scientific and philosophical fundaments. It is built rigorously with history and fundamental principles. It is what allows us to explain, justify, and transform teaching practice.
Hey, it's me again. Well, as you can see, the proposal is that teachers adopt bounded rationality, not seeking the perfect action, but analyzing options until finding that one who has positive effects, obviously being consistent with the goals that are sought. So, didactics is much more than just teaching. It is about reflecting, about transforming, and it places the teacher at the center as a professional who reflects on their practice.
Because teaching well isn't a matter of luck, it's a matter of understanding didactics.